Today's story tells the story of February 17, 2003, on a cloudy Monday morning in Antwerp, Belgium. A security guard walked toward the front door of a huge building made of concrete. He enters the access code, opens an armored glass door, and enters the lobby of the World Diamond Center in Antwerp. This fortress-like building is a major hub in Antwerp's Diamond District, a square-mile area that houses more than 80% of the world's rough diamonds, where they are cut, polished and sold. Guard shakes hands with workers across the lobby. Every day, millions of dollars worth of diamonds are traded here at the Diamond Center. Before being sold and shipped, many of the diamonds are stored in locked safe deposit boxes in a safe under this building. This is where the guard goes to ensure the safety of the treasury before trading begins for the day. But the guard is not worried. The Diamond Center's safe is considered one of the strongest in the world. It is protected by 10 layers of security, including motion and heat detectors, spectroscopic radar, CCTV cameras, and a lock, so the idea of bypassing even one layer of these security devices is inconceivable, and bypassing all of them is considered impossible. The guard heads through the elevator and descends 2 floors to reach the basement. He waves his keys around his finger as he wanders towards the closet door. But it stops suddenly. The closet door is slightly open. Cautiously, the guard approaches the door and looks inside. He feels a huge shock. All safe deposit boxes were opened and their contents looted. Scattered diamonds and gold bars thrown on the ground in the summer of 2001, 3 years before the great robbery of the century. A dark-haired, middle-aged man approaches the front entrance of the World Diamond Center in Antwerp. One day, the familiar guard, who knew him well, nodded and let him pass. Leonardo Notarbartolo, a diamond importer from Italy, has been renting an office inside the center for a year. Every morning he comes to work, goes through security, and then disappears into his office. Sometimes, he can be seen elsewhere in the building, wandering the corridors, or placing diamonds in the safe. He is an ordinary-looking person, fair-skinned, underweight, wearing plain shirts with a pen tucked into his breast pocket. Not much attention is paid to it. To others, he's just another face passing down the hall. But if anyone was paying close attention to Leonardo, they might notice that the pen tucked into his shirt pocket is no ordinary pen, rather, it is a small camera. When Leonardo goes to the treasury, he is not really putting in the diamonds, rather, it documents precise details about the layout of corridors, the locations of surveillance cameras, and the codes for closed doors. Leonardo is not a diamond importer. He's a skilled thief, and his current target is the ultimate challenge, the impenetrable safe of the Antwerp Diamond Center. When Leonardo rented his office in the center, he had no intention of breaking into the treasury. Instead, he used it as a base to commit other, smaller thefts around the center of the diamond. But a few months ago, he was approached by a dealer who had previously done illicit business with him. The dealer offered to pay Leonardo $130,000 to answer a simple question: could the Diamond Center's safe be stolen? At first, Leonardo thought the merchant was crazy. He already knows that the safe is impenetrable. But then, he shrugged it off and said, sure. He figured it would be the easiest $130,000 he'd ever made. So, with a miniature camera hidden in a pen, Leonardo began taking pictures. Over the course of several months, while posing as an office worker, Leonardo documents everything: the building's design, the extensive surveillance systems, and most importantly, the vault itself. Leonardo then reports his findings to the dealer. He tells him that the safe of the Antwerp Diamond Center was designed to repel the smartest thieves. Its solid steel door can bear 3 tons, and can withstand 12 hours of continuous piercing. Even to get to the nearest interior door, a thief must bypass multiple security cameras, radiant heat, motion and light sensors, as well as a lock with more than 100 million possible combinations of codes and a foot-long non-duplicable key. Finally, metal plates on the side of the door form a magnetic field that triggers an alarm when it is broken. Even inside the safe, steel and copper safe deposit boxes require their own keys and codes. In short, says Leonardo, the answer is no, stealing the Antwerp Diamond Center is not possible. The merchant thanks him for his time. Leonardo believes this is the end. But 5 months later, Leonardo is asked by the same dealer to meet him in an abandoned warehouse outside Antwerp. There, the dealer shows him something unusual, an exact replica of the Diamond Center's cabinet, meticulously copied from photographs provided by Leonardo. Next to the replica stand 4 men. In order not to reveal their identity, the merchant gives them nicknames. The first man is a famous alarm specialist known as the Genius. Alongside him, there is the Beast, a tall, muscular man and electrician, while the Key King is a popular key maker and one of the best forgers in the world. Finally, there is a man Leonardo recognizes from his childhood in Italy, a professional thief named Speedy. Afterwards, the dealer introduces Leonardo to the others as the artist. On a Friday afternoon at the Diamond Center in Antwerp on February 14, 2003. Most of the center's workers left for the weekend. But not Leonardo Notarbartolo. Use the elevator to go down to the closet. Once he was inside the closet, Leonardo quickly got to work. He extracts a can of hairspray from his pocket and, with one discreet movement, sprays the temperature and motion sensor with a fine mist of mist. This simple but effective technique will temporarily disable the sensor for at least 48 hours, plenty of time for Leonardo and his team to do their job. Leonardo then puts the can back into his jacket pocket, exits the closet and passes the guard who has no idea what just happened. 2 days later, in the early morning hours of Sunday, February 16, Leonardo drives his rental car down a quiet street in the Diamond District. Leonardo is the mastermind of this heist, but he's not as fast as he used to be. So he stays in the hidden car, while the other 4 robbers get out of the car carrying empty bags. The Key King opens the lock of a nearby office building. From there, they enter a park adjacent to the Diamond Center. Using a ladder hidden in the bushes, they climb to a second-floor balcony and enter through a window. They then follow a maze of corridors into a dark corridor that leads them to the treasury. Along the way, they place plastic bags over the surveillance cameras. Then, the genius removes an aluminum plate from his bag and attaches it to the 2 magnetic plates attached to the closet door. This allows him to loosen the magnets without breaking the magnetic field and triggering the alarm. Before the break-in, the Key King forged a master key for the vault. But he doubts he'll need it. The guards have become lazy lately. So, before using the fake key, the Key King checks the utility locker outside the locker, and indeed, the original key is there hanging on a hook. With a self-satisfied smile, the Key King opens the door, while the genius enters the recommendation code he extracted from Leonardo's survey. The genius turns the handle, and the closet door swings open, but after that, thieves would need to enter the safe where the heat and motion detectors are located. But 2 days ago, Leonardo disabled the sensors with a can of hairspray. However, the viscous layer of compressed air would not hide the heat of the 4 men's bodies. So, the monster slowly and methodically enters the dark room. He carefully lifts the roof panel and, using a pair of forceps, reroutes the wiring system that controls the temperature and motion sensors. Now it is safe for others to enter the locker. The King of Keys quickly unlocks each safe deposit box while the other 3 fill their bags with uncut diamonds, wads of cash, and gold bars. Meanwhile outside, Leonardo grumbles, pressing the steering wheel, watching the street fill with the early dawn light. Finally, at around 6 a.m., Leonardo looks in the rearview mirror and sees his partners racing toward him, their eyes sparkling with excitement. When Leonardo puts the car into gear, he's confident they've just pulled off a perfect heist. 12 hours later, Leonardo and his best friend Speedy were driving along the highway out of Antwerp, in the direction of Brussels. The thieves have separated and are meeting in Milan, where they plan to regroup and divide the spoils. In the back seat of the car there is a garbage bag. It is full of rubbish, but it also contains incriminating evidence, photographs and various documents related to the theft. They need to find a neglected place to burn it all. So Leonardo gets out of the car and scouts the area to make sure things are safe. So far, everything is going smoothly. But Leonardo is worried about Speedy, his longtime friend. Speedy is known to lose his cool under pressure. Leonardo hopes Speedy can keep calm until they reach Milan. But that's not what happens. When Leonardo returns to the car, he finds Speedy having a panic attack. He hysterically empties the garbage bag into the trees, breathing extremely fast in an attempt to get rid of the evidence. Leonardo succeeds in calming Speedy down after a while. But when Speedy regains his composure, Leonardo notices that his eyes sparkle with fear and he says, "There's someone coming." And it's not just in Speedy's imagination, Leonardo also hears voices approaching their location. There is not enough time to properly dispose of the evidence. The thieves jump into the car and speed away, leaving trash scattered on the ground, praying that no one finds it. Several days later, the thieves meet in Milan and divide the spoils. But it soon becomes clear that something is not right. Many of the bags they pulled from the security deposit boxes were either empty or contained much less money than they expected. Leonardo and his team walked away from the Diamond Center with what they were told was more than $100 million in riches. But when they count the inventory, it turns out to be no more than $20 million. Leonardo tries to contact the diamond dealer, the person in charge of the whole operation. But he can't find the merchant anywhere. As Leonardo remembers the beginnings of the strange theft, he begins to come to terms with the fact that they have been tricked. Other dealers in the Diamond Center may have known about the upcoming robbery. They may have taken their wealth out of the safe before the robbery and now intend to claim it was stolen. Leonardo thought he had executed the perfect crime. But now he believes he and the rest of his team have become victims in an elaborate plan to commit insurance fraud. So what happened on Monday, February 17, 2003, the next day after the robbery, while hunting rabbits, August Van Camp, a 59-year-old retired grocery clerk, discovers something that angers him. Someone has dumped trash on his property. But when he starts cleaning up the place, he finds documents marked with the words, Antwerp Diamond Center. This doesn't mean much to him, trash is trash. August Van Camp angrily calls the police, complaining about the children who supposedly left her there. The police usually ignore Van Camp's calls, which he often calls to complain, but this time when Van Camp tells them what he discovered, they send someone immediately. After the robbery, the authorities were at a loss. There were no witnesses, and the thieves left behind no fingerprints or evidence until they found the trash on Van Camp's land. One possible piece of evidence is a partially eaten salami sandwich purchased from a store in Antwerp. Investigators review surveillance video footage from the store and identify Ferdinando Venuto, an electrician and former shoplifter, whom Leonardo knows as the Monster. There is also a business card bearing the name of Elio Denorio, an Italian alarm system specialist linked to a series of thefts, genius. Finally, the police find a receipt for a video surveillance system bearing the name, Leonardo Notarbartolo, the artist. Then a break-in at Leonardo's apartment in Italy leads police to the most important clue of all, 17 uncut diamonds stolen from the safe in Antwerp. Soon, 4 of the thieves will be in the custody of the police, including Speedy, known to everyone as Pietro Tavano. Only the Key King succeeds in evading arrest, never to be found again. In 2009, 6 years into his 10-year prison sentence, Leonardo Notarbartolo gives an exclusive interview to an American journalist. During the interview, Leonardo insists that he was conned by a diamond dealer who organized the theft as part of an elaborate insurance fraud, and that his team only pocketed $20 million worth of the fortune. But the authorities cannot confirm whether Leonardo is telling the truth. Many believe he created the fraud story to hide the fact that he had hidden the remaining $100 million worth of wealth before his arrest. It has since emerged that Leonardo and his fellow thieves belonged to a network of Italian perpetrators known as the Turin School. As a result of this discovery, there are many people who believe that Leonardo did not communicate with any diamond dealer. Instead, he came up with the plan on his own and gathered the team to help him pull off the biggest diamond heist in history. But nothing is certain because most of what is known about the Antwerp Diamond Center robbery is based on the testimony of Leonardo himself, but what cannot be denied is that the most audacious robbery in the world, the Antwerp Diamond Center robbery, which took place on February 16, 2003, was traced to garbage bags.